Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. The guy got arrested for not telling someone he was arrested? That seems silly. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. In which my felon coworker is arrested again, and fired. I have a good story from the liquor store, where we'll call the coworker Gary. Backstory. I'm working 4 jobs along with full-time graduate school. 3 of the jobs are at the University U. The other, unfortunately, is liquor store. I had a few weeks of training shifts where I went for some short shifts to get used to everything while there was another staff member there. In fact, I haven't finished closing training at all since I have so many other things to do in the evening and overnight work hours. Once I was doing my own opening shifts, I was a few weeks in and then classes had started, as did other jobs. On the first football day, I went to the campus to watch a movie and then the game on the big screen theater since I do not have season tickets this year, and Gary, the coworker, calls me to go take over his shift that Saturday evening. I'd already scheduled work from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., so I go and get out of the store by 8 p.m. since it was pretty slow after the game started. I was a bit angry, and Gary promised me $20 for covering. On the next Monday, my manager tells me that Gary, who was the other person at my level, had been arrested 1 state away. Happy, happy, joy, joy. He told us that he was arrested for some unpaid fines or community service hours or something, but they kept him there for a month. We think he lied. He even stopped drinking for a while before he went to the other state. Something was up. With him being arrested, we continued on with 3 people to run the store for all of a month and a half. It sucked. It sucked really hard. If one of us got sick, we'd have all been screwed. I was making a lot more than I had each week, but I was, and am, exhausted. He calls up one day, planning to be out of other state minimum security prison, and announces he's flying back, where my store's owner has graciously kept his job open because he's a decent person to some, and one day, Gary is finally back. Well, first things first, of course, I ask him for the $20 he owes me. I get it, and immediately feel remorse. I plan to return it to him since he was probably high when he made the deal and definitely high when I saw him again. He was so out of it that he couldn't even walk in a straight line or form a sentence, so my manager tells me, and even worse than that, G is now a thief and has stolen 2 shots of Jägermeister. A few days later, I have some family come to town and they want to go buy things at the store. So I go there again with them to pick up some port and such, and I was informed that G was arrested again. This time it was for not notifying his parole officer that he had been arrested. He called me from jail whilst I was at work a few days ago, asking me to Google an anthropologist in Denver that does not exist. I don't know why. He also got out of jail just a few days ago. It's been decided by this point that we are done with him. He calls up a few times and we ignore him. Then he calls the store's owner, Boss Man. Boss Man answers and strikes up a conversation about how crappy jail is and then slips in those magic words, "Yeah, about that. It's time you brought your key back in." We're free. I finally get a few days off a week from the store, no more Monday to Sunday work weeks. I might get a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday off work at the liquor store, and Monday's likely to be a whole day off. I'm giddy with excitement at the thought of a night where I won't have to get up for work and will even get to wait for 4 p.m. of class. F you, Gary. Go to rehab and get your crap together. I'm applying for full-time jobs at University U. Hopefully, I won't have to spend many more months at the liquor store. And our second story. Why should you have a nice phone when my son can't? All right, so this is a pretty long one. Here's the cast. EP, entitled parent. EB, entitled brat, the EP's child, probably 7 years old. F, my friend. Me, of course. So for some background, I come from a pretty middle-class family. We have enough to survive, but not enough to live lavishly. However, my parents were very proud of me for managing to get all A's and some A pluses in my freshman and sophomore year of high school, so they decided to gift me a phone. It was a pretty new Samsung phone, and it did cost them a lot. I understood that my parents really wanted to reward me, so I kept the phone in really good condition. Now, the story happens a couple of months after. I'm sitting at the library working on a school project with my friend. He asked me to search something up, so I took out my phone to do so. Enter EP and EB. EP, hello, can I borrow your phone to call someone? Now, she seems nice at first and I'm willing to help people out, so I decided to let her borrow it. EP, thank you, I'll be back quick. Walks over across the library to a set of chairs and sits down. I could see EP, but I was becoming suspicious when she moved farther and farther away. I just ignore her for a few minutes and chat with my friend, and then I look back over to where she was sitting. I guess she'd finished her call because she was on a phone of her own, which was not mine, and her kid, EB, was holding my phone. I'd unlocked it to let them call. I can only assume that he was playing some game. I walked over there and asked for my phone back when EP said, EP, can't you see that my kid is having fun playing with it? Just let him play for a little bit. Me, I let you borrow my phone to make a phone call, not so that your kid could play on it. Now please give it back to me. EP, why do you need such a nice phone anyway? A flip phone should be good enough for you. Me, the phone I have is none of your business. I reach out and take my phone from her kid when she yells, EP, how dare you touch my child? EB starts crying and yelling. EP, give me that phone back, you B-turd. My child deserves this phone. You don't need it. Me, no, this is my phone. I own it, and I'm not giving it out for free. EP tries to snatch the phone from me, but I push her hand away. EP, how dare you hit me? Somebody call security. My friend comes to the rescue. F, screw off, old lady. That phone is OP's and not yours. EP, you stupid craps, give me that phone now. By this time, the entire library has heard this, and security arrives. Security, excuse me, ma'am, what's going on here? EP, this jerk assaulted my child and stole my phone. He brought his criminal friend to support him. Security, please remain calm. Turns to me, did you steal this phone? Me, no, this is my phone. I give the phone to the guard, and he hands it to EP. He asks her to unlock it, but she can't. He gives it back to me, and I unlock it with my password. Security, all right, ma'am, please come with me. To EP. EP, no, you lying crap. You effers will burn in hell for this. EB, still crying, practically bawling now. EP, EB, F, and I all go with the security guard, and he shows us the footage from the security camera. He clearly sees that EP was lying and that she was trying to steal my phone. The guard calls the cops, and EP gets arrested for attempted theft. Lesson learned, be more careful with your personal items. You never know what kind of psychos are out there. And our last story. That B is my daughter. Some background. My father's a CPA who runs a small shop in the front of the office for extra income. He has no employees for the shop other than my sister and me when we were younger. So it was my birthday and my dad was going to take me to lunch. As we're getting ready to head out, a tax client came by and needed his taxes done now. I know this won't take longer than an hour. I say, no problem, I'll just run the shop and stay out of the way, and we'll get lunch after he's done. Now the fun part. I'm in the front reading a book when in walks a customer. I put the book down and ask if I can help with anything. Lady brushes me off, so I go back to my novel. When she's done, she comes to the front and starts ringing her purchases. She also wants 2 money orders for $500 each, so I ring them in and give her her total. She pulls out a checkbook and asks for a pen. I inform her that money orders are cash only and give her the pen and her total for her items, minus the money orders and the fees associated with them. She looks at me like she just realized I was the crap she stepped in on the way to work and says, "You're new here, but the owner lets me write checks for money orders and gives me a 15% discount on all purchases." I say that's fine. She's more than welcome to come back when the owner's working. She instantly loses her crap and starts berating me, my looks, and anything she thinks I might like. I just sat there thinking, no good deed. When she realized I wasn't reacting, she started throwing the packets of gum next to the register at me. So my dad hears the commotion and sticks his head out the door and connects the back offices to the front and sees this woman throwing gum at me while I'm dodging them, laughing and telling her to calm down. Now, when I said my dad is a CPA, you probably envisioned a small, balding man wearing a bad suit. Change that image to a large, hairy biker that loves math. Now you have a better idea of what he looks like. He quite calmly asks, My name? Is there a problem? Hearing the owner, this woman turns mid-throw and says, the only problem is that this bee you hired won't do her job. That's when I got the best present a retail worker could ask for. My dad responds, that bee is my daughter, and it's her birthday. Get the F out of my store. And if I ever see you here or even out on the street, I'm going to show you exactly how mad I am right now. Run. And she did. She dropped everything in her hands and hightailed it out of the store. My dad canceled the rest of his appointment, which the client readily agreed to, and we went for a wonderful lunch. Love it when idiots try the whole I know the owner bit. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.